Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jason here, and recently we did purchase a pretty nice little package slash deal from Pooty Paintball. Oh, paintball! No, I'm just playing around. Okay, so what we did get from Pooty Paintball is we did get a super light in a dust purple tip ion slash Lux thread, so I can use one of these on my Lux. The other thing we did get the Top Secret Lux 2.0 Voiced Boost Pack. That has the Red Queen, Jarvis, Soundwave, the Retro Chirp from a Shocker, an Ion back in the day, and it actually has the Lux 2.0 interface software. The only reason we bought this is the quality is better when it comes to the voice packs, and I just felt bad just downloading them for free. Somebody worked their butts off, so I'd rather give somebody a little extra money. That's just me, though. So the main thing that we were looking around the internet, trying to get as much information as we could, would be the Pooty Paintball Pooty Core, aka the Stage 6. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to basically kind of do like an introduction video comparing the Stage 6 with the 2.0 core and just go over the differences, and I want to cover a lot of the questions that I wanted answered, but I couldn't find anywhere that had the answer. So, on that note, the one thing that absolutely bugged me was I could not find what you have to do to your marker when you get the Pooty Bolt or the Stage 6. So, I'm going to show everybody. On top of replacing an O-ring in the back cap, you actually replace that green one right there, which we haven't done yet, but that's okay. The other instructions are as followed. Lower your dwell to 14. Your first shot drop off 3 to 4. Your feather touch screw removed. I did a little bit of homework on that. You don't have to do that, just to let everybody know. Your manifold screw, 1 or 1/2 turns in from flush. Now the manifold screw is what really allows the air going into the solenoid. That's all it is. So basically, you're going to minimize the airflow going into the solenoid just to cover that. So that's what not Pooty, I'm sorry. This is what Chris sent you from Pooty Paintball. Also called his name Pooty. Sorry about that. So, what we're going to do, before we get started on anything else, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison so everyone can see the difference between the Pooty and just the good old-fashioned 2.0. One thing, too, is got our handy-dandy scale. Just turn it on. Give me 1 second. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to weigh them. So we're going to do the 2.0. Okay. And I'm just going to show that it has all the parts so no one can say that I took a part off or I sabotaged it. Because believe it or not, we do get a lot of that on these videos. So I'm going to lay it down. Now all I'm going to do I'm just trying to hold it so that it doesn't roll all over the place. Okay, so according to the scale, this weighs 3.2 or 3.3 ounces. And this is the stock. So now if we take the Pooty, the Pooty weighs 2.7, 2.8 ounces. Okay, so now that we measured those, that shows you the first difference is the Pooty core, or the Stage 6 core, is lighter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these apart. We're going to go over each of the different parts. So the first thing you're going to notice, the Stage 6 bolt guide, or the bolt guide, has the spring on the back, while the 2.0 has the spring in the bolt, which we will show momentarily. The other thing you can tell, the Stage 6 or the Pooty bolt guide is completely flush all the way up, with the guides or the air vents, whatever you prefer to call them, while the 2.0 stops. Okay? The stage 6 or the Pooty bolt guide does not have an indent. It's just a coned shape, while the 2.0 has to have an indent for the spring on the bolt. Okay, if we flip these, the Pooty is bored out to allow a better airflow, while the 2.0 is not. Okay, so we're going to set those aside. Now we're going to work. Now we're going to compare the bolts. Okay. The standard 2.0 has the bolt spring right there, as you can see. The only main difference between these two portings, or air ports, whatever you prefer to call them, these are actually angled. You can see a little bit how they are angled machined, instead of just one solid hole like it is on the 2.0. Okay, then another difference is the 2.0, you can actually see in there, is completely, not bored out, while the Pooty bolt or the flat face bolt is. And if you look into the Pooty bolt or the flat face bolt, you can tell there is a little ledge. That ledge is what catches the spring, just to clarify on that. Okay, and the big difference would be the front. This one indents, this one is just flat. Nothing special at all to it. But we'll get into how this can benefit you momentarily. So now we're going to look at the cams. Okay. The main difference between the cams, if you look at these, the 2.0 is definitely thicker than the Pooty core. This one will allow more air within this chamber versus this one. Okay. Another difference is if you follow my finger, the air goes down or goes up into that hole and then powers. This one, it goes up, and then any one of these 360'd can power the air for the next shot. Okay. The biggest, coolest difference is the stage 6 or the core can come apart in two different pieces. This will make it easier to get in here and lube the O-rings versus trying to get your finger in here and hope your finger doesn't get stuck. Okay. Okay, so now that we've compared the two and we've gone over them, now what we want to do, I put the bolt in, I apologize. Okay, we're going to put that in. The next bolt. So we actually have two luxes here. One of them is the purple and charcoal, which is mine, and then I borrowed my buddy's black and gold lux to actually do a side-by-side. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put the Pooty into the back cap for my lux. And then we're going to put my buddies back in. Okay, so one thing we're going to do real quick, let me reach over here. I apologize I didn't have this handy. Okay. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of... it's stuck. Sorry about that. Now this isn't the lube I usually use, but this is the lube that comes with the Lux. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually take some. I'm going to put it on the bolt. Okay, now the reason I'm doing this is to lube that inner O-ring. The next thing we're going to show you I want to prove that we're not sabotaging or damaging in any way, shape, or form. So I'm lubing the inner O-ring inside, right in there. Okay, so we're going to hold both these cores in the ham. Okay, and I'm gonna keep it like this so you can see I'm not holding down the bolt in any way, shape, or form. We're going to compress the bolt and release so you can see both the bolts. Now the reason we're doing this is so you can hear the difference in the spring. So we'll do the 2.0 first. Now we'll do the putty. Okay, and hopefully, it might be hard to see in the video, but just by doing this, I can tell you right now that the stage 6 is definitely more responsive having that spring in the back. So you gotta think about this mathematically for a second. Okay, the stage 6 bolt is in the back. Okay, so that we're going to call that your compression. This is your bolt. So as the spring is compressed, it has plenty of room to then push the bolt and then uncompress that spring. That's very important. If the spring is misplaced, or if the spring is not, I guess you can say, correct ratio, you're going to notice a harder shot, a louder sound signature. So keep that in mind. So the stage 6 bolt is even from the back to the front with the decompression and the release. Now with the Lux 2.0, your spring is actually in the bolt, and your spring's only about maybe that long, give or take. So really what you're working with the 2.0 is your compression is also your release. So as this comes down, compresses, releases. So that spring is completely compressing right here against the bolt cap and the very top of the bolt, while the stage 6 is compressing in the back. So the only thing it's compressing with is the very back end of the bolt, not the front. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put these in. So the first one we're going to show, now I'm going to keep the camera on this at all times. We don't want the camera going away and then hearing somebody say, oh, I sabotaged it somehow. We actually get that a lot too. So we're going to take the 2.0 core, and now we are using the Ninja Superlight 77 CI 4500. This thing has been compressed, changed to a 550 output PSI to run with Lux smoothly. Okay, so we're going to gas this up. Okay, we're just doing that enough for the bolt to go back. Okay, so what we're going to do, we might have to move this a little bit toward the light, and I do apologize if it's hard to see. So we're going to take a Vulcan graffiti and drop it in. Now the one thing you probably never noticed with your 2.0, I want you to look right in that breech. Now I'm going to take my finger, watch the ball. Oh, different finger. I can push that ball back. That isn't really good, you can say. The reason why, and I'm going to steal a famous line from Chris from Pooty Paintball, think of this as, instead of just lightly kicking the ball with the inner part of your shoe to your teammate in soccer, this is pretty much just straight up kicking the darn thing as hard as you can. I know it's not quite an accurate description, but that's the best and the most, well placed, if you ask me. So same thing. So while this bolt is coming forward, unless your ball is against it, that is just going to slap that ball. Instead of pushing it, it's just going to pretty much beat it up. So think of it that way, okay? So same thing, we'll just keep it on camera and keep doing that for a minute. Okay, so we're going to take that out. Now we're going to degas this one. Okay, and a cool trick, in order to completely degas your Lux after playing, just lift the back cap. There, all the air's out of your Lux now. Okay, so we're going to take my buddy's Lux, move that off to the side, and now we're going to take out mine, which my lovely girlfriend bought me. So same thing, Pooty. Okay, same thing, we're going to take the Ninja Tank. Okay, so same thing. So we're going to make sure the bolt is all the way back, which it is. Do the same thing. Now, if you notice how big of a difference that is. If you notice with the stage 6 or the Pooty bolt, it is pretty much damn close to the ball right there. I'll take my finger away. So if you notice, okay, that ball barely moves at all. Well, with the other one, I could actually move it forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward. So this is what I was mentioning about a pass using the inner part of your foot versus just a straight up bam and it's out of here. What this is going to do, this is going to push the ball past the ball dents or the ball detents with the pressure behind it, allowing for a smoother shot and probably definitely be able to shoot more brittle paint because nothing is slapping the paint. But we will test that. Bear with us, of course. Now the one thing, go ahead and take the ball out and we'll degas this so nothing's live. Oh, sorry about that. Got a little bit of excess air in that one. So, overall, with the Pooty bolt stage 6, you do have more well-placed air areas or cylinders, ports, whatever you prefer to say. Really, it's just all terminology. So that's going to allow a smoother shot, a quieter shot. And with this bolt being able to hold the air that you need, I'm going to say you will probably get more of an efficiency. You got to think of it. I'm going to get my buddies back out. Okay. You got to think of it like this. Think of this as the Camelback, like what you use when you go jogging, long distance. The air is there if you need it. Think of this one as a 24-ounce water bottle. You're going to have to fill up. You're going to have to, take little sips. That's kind of a good comparison you can think of it. Now, I know you're going to ask, is it worth the $200? I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no yet. I want to do more tests. I want to do the tests that I'm not seeing on YouTube. So a lot of the videos you are going to be looking up when it comes to the Pooty bolt is somebody just holding the camera shooting. You don't see the gun. They're talking. You don't see the sound signature, etc., etc. Now, I do know that Chris from Pooty Paintball does have some videos up that he does explain more in depth the different stage cores you can buy. I do recommend looking at that. And he does do a video of basically just putting the Pooty bolt in, shooting it over a Corona with, actually, I didn't know they existed, a Lux pressure tester. Pretty cool looking devices, actually. So, all I gotta say is thank you very much for watching, as always. Definitely check out our Facebook page. That is where you can get all this information and the pictures before the videos are actually posted. So please keep that in mind. It will be actually in the review/comments of this video. So, until next time, this is Jason with, we'll call it the Pooty Stage 6 introduction video. Thank you very much for watching.